Hi there, I'm Daniel Cairns and I am a cybersecurity student at Deakin University. You may have caught my last video where I recently spoke about the rapid growth of artificial intelligence throughout our everyday lives. I spoke about how it's in cars with their navigation systems being able to tell the difference between a person and a tree and detect the lines on the road and make sure the car's going, keeping within the lines. Also mentioned briefly Spotify and Netflix and how it's used in medical surgeries and big data analytics and data security, predictive policing, and so many other industries that it's being used. It's also being used in social media platforms like Facebook, which recently shared their machine language as a service infrastructure in an article in 2018. It outlined how they have machine learning or artificial intelligence available as a service to make it easier for their developers to program new features using the technology. The entire platform is run by AI to produce relevant news feeds, ad content, image and facial recognition services, and a host of language services as well. There's been a rapid growth in the technology due to the breakthroughs in neural networking and the availability and affordability of processing power. Even small businesses and startups can leverage from machine learning infrastructure from service providers like Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google services. I think there's even a free tier on some of those services to get people started in using the technology. I mentioned in the last video also that all businesses and organizations should invest a little bit of time in research to see how AI can assist them to keep up with the competition or stand out from the competition even. A call center, for example, can use cognitive services to monitor every call and flag calls where negative tones are detected or off-script conversations or confrontations have taken place without having to pay a staff member to listen to every call. Typically, a call center might only listen to a handful of calls or a random selection of calls, and a lot of issues they may listen to a lot of good calls, and bad calls might slip through the gaps, and they waste a lot of time trying to find where the quality is dropping of those calls. So quite a useful service. A guy by the name of Jim Euchner published an article categorizing AI implementations as little AI and big AI. It sounds a bit broad, but a little AI, if you think about it, is enhancing or automating a process that typically requires some sort of human judgment. Whereas big AI is more of it requires more of a strategic change at the business level, implementing completely new systems. He goes on to say that no matter the size of implementation, there can be good implementations and bad implementations. A good example might be where we have AI monitoring the call center, as we just discussed, and that flags callers that might need some further training. A bad implementation might save some money on having customer service staff answering calls or talking online, but in the longer term may have an effect on their reputation because a poorly implemented chatbot or artificial intelligent customer service agent might not be able to provide the kind of image or good customer service that a customer expects to have. So those long-term effects might actually have a negative impact on the business, even if the short-term goal of saving some money is achieved. There's also the question of community acceptance of different artificial intelligence implementations. For example, in predictive policing, where surveillance systems are in place that utilize crime history and live CCTV footage to create heat maps or predict where unusual behaviour is happening or where crimes are more likely to occur. There's been, in those kind of scenarios, there's been very little engagement with the community, and as I discussed in the last video, AI is all around us, but many of us don't know that it is. So this is a bit enlightening for a lot of people. For example, there's been little in the way of laws to dictate where or to regulate where AI or how AI can be used, except maybe in driverless cars. There's a lot of regulations around that, and a lot of people watching where that's going. And that's for some moral reasons, because a vehicle may have to make the decision where both outcomes have a negative effect. For example, it might have to swerve or try to avoid an accident that might kill someone, but then it might have the potential to kill somebody else. For example, someone might jump out in front of a car, the vehicle swerves, but it may hit pedestrians on the side of the road. How does it know which of those scenarios is the better outcome? So we've had a lot of massive breakthroughs with AI, as I've said, with the technology, but it's anyone's guess as to where the technology might be in the next 5 to 10 years. With the current exponential growth of AI and other associated services like Internet of Things, which is a topic for another day, it's going to be really exciting to see where it goes in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think because of that, it's really important, as I said earlier, for all businesses and organizations to keep a close eye on artificial intelligence or machine learning, just to see where it's going and see how it can help them. Look, that's all I've got time for now. But if you have any feedback or any questions regarding what we've discussed today, leave some feedback in the comments below. You can reach out to me on Twitter as well. I'm at Daniel Cairns. Thanks for listening, and bye bye for now.